Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So on my Instagram I asked you guys to ask us some questions for the second part of our husband and wife Q&A, and you guys sent us lots and lots of questions. Some of them are repeats of things we've already answered, but we might sort of skim past some of them as a recap as well. As you know, this is my husband Sadal. You've seen him in loads of videos by now, and you've seen him in our first Q&A. I think it was this time last year actually.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, before we get into the video,
I don't know what the questions are, so
they're not that hard, don't worry.
I know, but I haven't. It's not something that's been rehearsed, so I'm gonna give straight up, honest, on the spot answers.
Oh, you actually do?
Yes, I am. Let's see what happens.
Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps my channel grow. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and my Instagram name is The Junior Doc, where I share more about my life on my stories and my Instagram posts. So without further ado, let's get started with the questions.
Before you do that, you can sit closer to me.
What's each other's best and worst traits? You can start off.
What do you want to go with? What should I start with? Best or worst?
Either, I don't care.
No, I save the best to last.
So
Worst
start
trait.
with something negative.
Yeah. Ezgi can be quite stubborn.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but how does stubbornness? That's not always a bad trait, though.
No, well.
Why are you laughing like a weirdo?
Best traits. I don't know. There's quite a few. So I don't know. You're thoughtful, loving, caring. You're quite funny. You know. Yeah. You've got a bit. You know. How can I say?
Do I make your day fun? Wait,
yeah.
Like, I guess this is more important because now that we're in lockdown and we're in quarantine, we are spending more time together in a closed space. So I guess we're getting to know each other much better than we did before. So do you appreciate my humour now more than you did?
Yeah, I think.
Like your only human interaction. I can brainwash you right now and get you to do anything, and you'd never know.
Shut up. I do follow the news and stuff like that. Yeah, I would easily say the best part of my day. So
your best traits are.
Oh, for me, okay, go.
Or should I start off with your worst ones as well?
Yeah, just say the best to last, go.
What, you want me to start off with the bad ones?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, where do I start? The fact that you often don't take initiative with housework and you have to be told what to do.
I accept that, but that's because I don't know if I say lazy or didn't have to do much.
You take advantage. You
No,
just
no,
wait for
no.
somebody else to do it first, and if they don't do it, then you're like...
It actually isn't that. I don't think so. I'm really programmed into do it because before I got married, I hardly used to do anything. You know, when I was at my mum's. So
that's not an excuse.
No, yeah, well, I'm 32 now. So nearly 30 years of my life, I haven't been programmed into doing it. So yeah, sometimes I don't have the initiative.
So you accept that. Okay,
Yeah.
next. Your best, I'd say that you're reliable, honest, and I gave you a bonus one there. Next.
Thank you, I feel so grateful.
So as you guys know, a few weeks back we announced our pregnancy. So I'm currently 25 weeks pregnant. Things at work have changed a lot as well. If you've watched my previous videos, I've no longer got patient contact, which, yeah, well, it means I can still work, but then I'm not at risk, so which is nice. So lots of you guys asked questions about the recent news. So you guys have asked, have you decided on a name for your child, and if yes, then what is the name? Say the name,
We have decided on the name.
That's if we got the gender right.
So
there's a confusion.
I've only just mentally prepared myself again.
That what it's gonna be.
Girl, this out. First, I always imagined having a daughter before.
We fell pregnant.
Yeah, you felt pregnant, not we.
Yeah, but
Okay.
whatever.
And then we had symptoms, with the signs were showing that it was going to be a boy, and then we had the scan, they said it was a boy at first, and then at the end they said it was going to be a girl, so I've just about got my head around it, and now I've mentally prepared myself for it to be a girl.
We've got a name.
So we got a name, but I don't think we're going to reveal it just yet, just in case someone sees it and steals the name.
And also we haven't committed to painting the baby room yet either. I think I might go for another scan at some point in the next few weeks, when everything is a bit better.
So we think we know what we're having. Well, I think
but
we're
it's
like
not 100%.
I think 90% sure.
Yeah. So another question along that line is why did you feel that at this point in your life or your career was a good time for a baby? I would say that I don't think there is a good time or the right time to have a baby. I feel like when you feel ready in yourself as mature adults that you can look after another human, and that's the best time. I don't think it's that correct to focus on the point in your career, because at whatever point it is, it's going to be a break in that point of your career, and when you go back, at least in the medical field, you just go back and start off from where you left off from. I know that might be a bit difficult with other careers, but that's how it is in medicine. So if I, for example, take my maternity leave at the end of ST1, then I come back at the end of ST1 and continue progressing. I don't fall back in my career ladder. So for that reason, we thought we have gotten to know each other a lot more. We've settled in our marriage. We have got our house. And we feel financially stable enough to support a child with one of us doing less hours. So I think that's the way that we made the decision, and we knew from before we got married anyway that we always wanted children, so it was just at what point in our marriage did we want that. So I don't think it was that much of a difficult decision for us.
I'd say we thought about it and we talked about it before we kind of got married, and when we first got married, and you know, being in a relationship beforehand is different, and then living in the same house is a bit different. So we wanted to be able to set our relationship to settle,
get used to some travelling as well.
Yeah, get used to each other, travel,
enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, that's right.
One-on-one.
Yeah, so just basically enjoy a time when it's just the two of us. Take advantage of that and grow closer and get to know each other more. Because once they say you have a kid, the whole world of your life changes. So
for the better, hopefully.
Yeah.
We shall see in 3 months. Does being a medic change the number of kids you want when you want them? I would say, so I guess that's a question for me because it's asking as a medic. I would say no, my career wouldn't really determine the number of kids that I want. I decide how many kids I want and how often I want to go on maternity leave and how long I want to take on my maternity leave. When you want them, not so much. You have to work in the NHS for at least 2 years to be able to qualify for the maternity leave, I believe. I don't know if this is correct. So I guess maybe that will play a part. But around the time that had happened is when we were just thinking about having children anyway. So I guess it didn't really make a difference for us. Okay, so who is more stubborn in arguments, and do you guys solve them? How do you guys solve them?
I think the first question answers this question. So
what do you mean? Who's more stubborn? Yeah, but who's more stubborn in arguments? I could just be more stubborn in life. Shut up. I'm not stubborn in arguments. You are stubborn. You're like, oh no, this is how it is. This is how it is. No, I said this. No, you said that. I'm just more like stubborn with getting my point across because you're so stubborn. Does that make sense?
No, she's stubborn. I can easily say I think I'm the first one to make a move to make things better. You can't disagree on that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's because like our characters are different. Like you might get annoyed or angry at something really quickly, but then like get over it really quickly. Whereas for me, it takes me a while to get to that same point, but then it takes me ages to settle back down into like a normal routine. So even after we've like solved the problem, I will just go around with
I think I'm more forgiving.
No, I don't think it's to do with forgiving. I just think it's just the different time frames that it takes me to get back to that. Because what happens is you're mostly in the wrong. So for you to apologise, it's easier. And for you to get over the issue, it's easier because it's your fault. Whereas because I'm the one who's offended by whatever you've done, it's gonna take me a while. Shut up. It's gonna take me a while to basically get back to like my baseline. So like for about 24 hours, my face will just be like
bitch face.
And you just part with that.
Yeah.
That's part of like the process.
And also, I'm very easy. I'm quite open to, and I'm like straightforward with when it comes to like owning up to if I've made a mistake.
No, but sometimes I feel like you own up with it. But sometimes I feel like you own up to something, just to like end the conversation or end the argument. You don't actually own up because you truly feel like I did something.
Yeah, not 100% of the time. Of course that's the case. In a relationship.
So if I sense that.
In a relationship, in a relationship, like sometimes it's better to back off and like just accept fault, even if you feel like you're not at fault. Just like help with the situation, because if you've both become stubborn, and like none of one of you doesn't step back, then that's just going to carry on and on and on. And it's going to flare up. So that's why I accept or step back, or like even if I feel like I don't, but it's for the good of the relationship.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but
I guess it's like a good thing that
this Missy here is very rare that she accepts fault.
No, I don't. No, it's very rare that I accept fault, because it's very rare that I'm in the wrong. That is the actual reason why. Shut up. That is the actual reason why.
No, even when you know you're in the wrong.
No, I come round to it eventually and I apologise. Yeah, that's just my way of doing it. Do you get your apology in the end?
Yeah, she comes back.
Do you get your apology in the end? Do you get it or not?
Yes, 1 second. So she comes back to me 3 days later and is like, I'm sorry. And then she looks up.
But do you get the apology though? By
then, I've already forgot it. And I was like, okay, she apologised. Like, what's she apologising for? Oh, yeah.
I can remind you, we can have another argument about it.
So, yeah.
Anyways, has pregnancy brought you closer as a married couple?
I think so.
Do you?
Yeah. Like, okay, of course, before you got pregnant, I did think about you, and I like make sure you
sometimes once a day.
Worry about your safety and stuff like that. But now, because you're pregnant, like I'm constantly, thinking, is she okay? I need to know when you get to work. When you get to work, and when you've left work, and how's work going? How's the baby? Is it moving around? Yeah. So like I'm like very protective and like cautious and thinking about you all the time.
Is that going to continue after the baby's here though?
Of course it will.
We'll see. I'll update you guys. What are your plans for after you have had baby, work-wise and childcare? So maternity leave will probably take maybe like 9 to 10 months, depending on how early I'll go on mat leave, given the current situation. We've both got our parents around, so hopefully they'll be helping with childcare at the point that I decide that I want to go back to work. And then we'll probably, even though we've got a lot of support through grandparents, we'll probably also consider putting the child into nursery for a few days, just for some social interaction and, meeting other kids and getting used to a routine sort of thing. But I don't think we've thought that far ahead yet.
And also, what do they call them? Chickenpox parties.
Chickenpox parties?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Getting all the kids together so they spread their chickenpox to each other?
Yeah, that's literally that's what they do. Like, someone's got chickenpox, I'll take the big.
And nits as well.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, that's the rough plan, but obviously we don't know. But we're very lucky that we've got our parents around. I know that not everybody has that support. How did you plan your wedding and get enough time off whilst you were working? So our wedding was the second month of me starting FY1. So it's in September and I was in FY1 in August. So we basically did majority of the prep during my final year of medicine. And medicine for me, my final exam was in March. So from March onwards, I could fully focus on, getting my wedding dress and preparing all the photographers and that kind of last minute stuff. So it ended up falling on like a good time period. And then you didn't have any issues with taking annual leave because you knew when like the wedding was going to be and when the honeymoon was booked for.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I didn't know until I started in August what my rota was going to be like. So I did like a few swap arounds and annual leave and everything, and it worked out okay, thankfully. When you first started dating, was there any jealousy between you guys? Not really.
Just like normal level, I don't think so. I think neither of us have a extreme level of jealous.
I feel like
No.
jealousy is like a personal thing to that person. Like they probably have some insecurities that make them have trust issues that subsequently make them jealous over somebody. And I guess it also depends on the actions of the other person as well. Like what do they do that makes the other person have feelings of jealousy? And I guess like from the beginning we've always had trust.
I think trust is very, very key.
Yeah. So once you have trust and then you don't, and like basically, yeah, once you have trust, there's actually no room then for jealousy, because you know. But then most people are like, well, I'm not worried about you, I'm worried about other people that are around you when you go to XYZ places. But then it's like there's only so much you can control, and a little bit of jealousy is nice. I guess it makes that person feel like, you know,
wanted, appreciated,
like cared for, or like, yeah. But I feel like there's like a fine line between it getting in the way of your relationship, and I don't think we've ever had any issues that have made us like question our trust or then subsequently make us jealous. Do you agree?
I would agree.
Do you sometimes wish your wife wasn't a doctor?
No, I don't think so.
Be honest.
No, I don't think so. I think like...
Well, there was never one point in your life where you're like, oh, I just wish she had a different career. It would have been easier.
Like, I wouldn't say so. Like, okay, it was tough during your exams, and you had long exams, and then when you do like night shifts and these 12-hour shifts, you know, they're not easy, but then because you do something so, how can I say, so meaningful and like so special, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think so. I don't even know if I can actually imagine you doing anything else. Because I think the way your characteristics are, like, you know, your personal, you know, character and the way you are and how you're caring and you're thoughtful in general, I think it kind of fits well to be a doctor. And then some people are just made to be a doctor or a nurse or like some form of care.
So I guess it sometimes works out for you as well, as in like when I'm on night shifts or when I'm on these long day shifts or working on the weekend, then you get some like me time on your own at home, or get the opportunity to like meet your mates without me being there. So it kind of gives you the option of like having your own space and your own social schedule as well.
I wouldn't say I totally enjoy it when you do night shifts and like I'm not, you know.
But like you can make use of those time of that time.
Yeah, I can.
You have had your friends over to watch football and stuff.
Yeah.
Who cooks better?
I think
should be honest. Why are you even thinking about this? Why are you even thinking about it?
My variety of what I can cook is limited compared to what you can cook. But what I do, the things I do, that sounds a bit wrong, but do cook are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I do it real well.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like he has a few dishes, like the recipe book is like 2 pages. But there's 2 recipes are quite like nice, and I can rely on them. For example, if I'm on like a late shift or night shift, like I can rely on him to make dinner and it'll be nice.
Yeah, so I don't
But I have more variety.
Yeah, you have better variety, and I think I would say you're more adventurous as well when it comes to like doing new dishes and different recipes. And
because like with you, you're really like
rigid
with like, if the recipe says you have to put 1 teaspoon, he'll literally get like a measurement thing that says 1 teaspoon and he'll only put that. And if like one ingredient in the recipe is missing, he will literally not do the whole recipe. He won't like improvise and like use another ingredient or just keep that ingredient out. For example, if it's just a herb, like, you know, you could potentially just not do with it. But no, he's like really rigid. Whereas when I look at a recipe, I'm like, oh, put a little bit more of that. that. Maybe this will go nice as well. Keep that out. Like I can, you know, use the recipe as a guide rather than like rigid instructions. So yeah. How did you manage to buy a house so young?
What?
I was 27.
Was I 29?
29.
I had been saving for like a long time.
Yeah. So
So
you had like a good going deposit.
Yeah.
Like at least like 50, 60 grand.
I think I had what? I'd been saving since I was what, 18? Yeah.
So, and then we decided we weren't going to buy a house within like central or like centre parts of London. We wanted to move out a little bit more and have the option of travelling in. So which gave us the option, oh my god, there's a black cat. So scary. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's fine. Hope it's not trying to hunt my buddies. I've got like these buddies that come and eat.
No, your buddy's there on the tree. Like.
Oh, okay, cool.
Buddy, he means his bird that he feeds every day and is now so fat probably can't fly.
It's two robins.
Yeah.
But they keep coming to the cousin.
Anyway, so what was I saying? So we wanted to have more house for our money, and have the option of travelling in if we wanted to, which is why we moved to the outer skirts of London. And then in addition to that, in addition to your savings, which I contributed a little bit to, we got a joint mortgage. So basically my salary plus your salary gave us quite a healthy mortgage, and adding your deposits on top and everything, we were able to buy a 3-bed house as our first house. So we were quite lucky in that. And then what happened was it kind of coincided with our wedding. So as you know, with Turkish weddings, you get lots of money gifted. And so we were lucky enough to use that money towards renovating the house. So basically it fell at a really good time. But yeah, basically try to have some sort of a deposit saved. It doesn't have to be as big as ours. And also make sure that it's got good transport links. So you can buy somewhere further away, but with transport it's actually not that bad to get into London or wherever you're living, and then that way you get more for your money. How do you keep your relationship alive whilst being at work all day and at different times?
The only times when we're not around it, our work doesn't match is when you do night shifts and 12-hour shifts
and weekends. But then I guess the way to basically, so you know that's going to happen, you have to accept that, and you have to just like not be resentful towards that person because they can't control their rota. And then also when you know that you've got some days off, for example, like if I've finished like a long stretch of nights and it's our first evening together after I finish those shifts, then we like plan like a little movie night, or like, you know, just basically have something to look forward to. So that person is planning towards it and you're planning towards it. Or say, for example, I've done like some weekend shifts, then make sure that the next weekend that you're together, you've got something planned. You can either go out somewhere or have like a really nice day in. Yeah,
so like if there's times when you're not together, you plan ahead to make up for that time. So, yeah.
Anyways, I think that's all the questions. Did you enjoy the video?
Yeah, it was good. It's good to catch up.
Thanks for everyone for sending their questions in. Sorry if I didn't answer your questions. They weren't all relevant to this type of video that we were doing, and others were repeats of things that other people were asking. So hopefully us having a chat about them has answered your questions as well.
Yeah, and also our friends putting in cheeky questions in.
Oh yeah, we're not even going to shout out to Eleanor and Shamim. Your questions have been unanswered for a reason. I could answer Shamim's one, I guess, but and Eleanor's one, but yeah, it wouldn't be appropriate for YouTube. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video.
And the thumbs up.
My thumb, yeah, that is liking the video actually. And drop us comments about any other questions that you have, and also we would love to hear any recommendations for baby things. So basically we've bought our stroller and we've got our bedroom set, and now I know it's a little bit too early for all of this, but because of the whole lockdown situation we wanted to get our orders in just in case this period of time was extended, and we were in a sticky situation with no car seats and strollers and baby furniture, so we had to order earlier than we were planning to. We're still in the process of buying little bits like here and there, like little gadgets like baby monitors and that sort of stuff, and we're just going to take our time with that because we're doing online orders over things like Amazon. So I think we can take
and
it
slowly. I would like to take the opportunity to give a shout out to Totland in Tottenham, in Bruce Grove. They've been amazing.
Yeah, so
amazing,
if you live in London
helpful.
and you want like affordable prices for well-known brands, then you can shop from there, and they have really good customer service. So like the guy, for example, even though his shop was closed, was able to still order in the stock for us directly from the supplier and deliver it to us in time for before all of this basically happened. So he's very understanding.
He totally went out his way, didn't he? Because we literally put in an order and then they done lockdown literally the next day. And what he done was he had like a car seat and a base and then like a little baby crib that we bedside crib. He had in his store, and he took them home for us just in case he can't get our order in, lockdown continues, and the baby comes and we've got nothing because without a car seat
you can't take baby home.
You can't take the baby home, so he put that aside for us. So if we ever need it, it's there. So he's definitely went out his way. So thank you, Totland.
Yeah. So we'll see you in our next video. Bye.